Hi guys, Brain here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today, I wanted to talk to you about one of the worst things you could possibly do early in your Dead by Daylight career. I know a lot of you guys are more veteran players, have thousands and thousands of hours, which, makes sense because, I also have thousands and thousands of hours, so we're like kind of on the same wavelength there. But I know some of you are still early in your DBD careers, and I want to tell you something that really stunted me, and it's something that I wish I hadn't done when I was starting to learn the game. That way you can have a better mindset for the rest of your DBD experience. So often when you're first getting into a game, you look up gameplay of said game, which 1000% makes sense. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but one of your first steps usually when you're first getting into something new is immediately go to YouTube, go to Twitch, try to look up the thing that you're interested in and try to garner as much information and experience from other people who have more experience than you do in the subject matter, which is smart. That's like the good fast track to learning basically anything is where are the experts, let's observe the experts, and let's repeat what the experts are doing. And in the case of DBD, this is going on to YouTube, this is going on to Twitch, and looking at the content creators that are mastering whatever side you happen to be playing. So if you want to be a killer main, you're obviously going to be zoning in on killer streamers or killer YouTubers. And if you're a survivor main, you're zoning on survivor streamers and survivor YouTubers. However, there's a pretty big pitfall that comes with this that I'm sure you've noticed with some streamers that have made an entire career of doing this said thing, is that they are so incredibly biased towards their side that they are straight up saying things that are less than factual pretty much constantly. There are so many situations where you will be watching a killer streamer completely play a pallet loop wrong, just like doubling back every 2 seconds, hiding your red stain at a loop where they can see over the wall, and so that's just pointless. And then they'll go, of course, meta perks, or of course, stupid map, and they just and they'll be like, oh, well, stupid survivors are always sweating so hard. And what happens is when you're in that situation and you are watching as a brand new player, you're soaking all that in as well. You're soaking in all that whininess and that complaining aspect, because there was a lot that person was doing wrong with that bad pallet loop, but they didn't blame themselves for a single second, right? They didn't blame themselves for a single second. They blamed other people. They blamed the survivors. They blamed the game. And that is a very dangerous mentality to adopt as an early player in the game. And I think that's one of my greatest, if you had to ask me, what do you regret most about, your content creation journey, is when I was first starting out, I definitely watched a lot of killer main streamers who were very, very, very entitled. Very, very entitled. If you go back into my YouTube channel, all the way back to some of my earlier videos, you can see how indoctrinated I was by this idea of the survivors are all terrible, and the survivors are the worst, and the killers are the oppressed crew that just pull it out every game doing their best just to provide the survivors a fun match, but all they want to do is ruin our fun. It's weirdly propaganda, and I soaked it all in, and it's like I said, it's one of my greatest regrets about my early content creation thing here with YouTube and Twitch is I just had such a indoctrinated attitude, because when I was trying to learn the game, when I was trying to get better at the game, obviously I enjoyed killers, so I started watching a lot of killer mains. But a lot of the killer mains I was watching, who will remain nameless, I bet you can think of a couple names if you think about it, never blame anything on themselves, and they're just the most biased group of people that you could ever imagine. They're just yep, I could do no wrong, everything is the survivor's fault, the game is just there's nothing I can do. It's just Survivor Fest 2022 and has been since 2016. It's a mess. It's a mess. they just can't wake up and smell the roses. They can't see the game clearly. They're just seeing it through their very, very filtered lens. But the problem with that is you can be a whiny baby all you want, really. It's not you can be a whiny baby. That's okay. Nobody, you're not causing trouble or anything. But the problem is when you're being a whiny baby like that, and a brand new player starts watching you, a brand new player, they're gonna soak in what you say law. They're gonna soak in what you say law, because they're just trying to learn the game. They're still trying to figure out how the whole system and situation works. And when you're saying really off the cuff, not true stuff like that, just because you're upset in the moment, you're kind of creating this vision of the game, this view of the game that isn't factual, and that affects new people who are playing the game. And the problem is this isn't even just like a mentality issue. This literally hurt my gameplay. There are a lot of things that I learned late in the game as a killer main because I believed, because of, you know, the experts, quote unquote, that I was watching, that, you know, this was just the survivors being annoying or the game being annoying, and it wasn't something I actually had power over. Like as annoying as Dead Hard is, there are a lot of ways to bait it, but I wasn't even doing that. I wasn't even like trying to bait the Dead Hard or wait out the Dead Hard. I was just swinging every single time and then having a crybaby fit over Dead Hard every single time. Now that perk is still strong, and I still think it's way too strong, but now I have a better idea of like how to counter it better. That way I can like help a little bit with that big problem, right? And I wasn't even doing that before. I wasn't even waiting out Dead Hards. I was just swinging at every single Dead Hard and just getting mad if they had Dead Hard. I am now a better player when I stopped listening to other people just going, well, Dead Hard's just done. Like, it just shouldn't exist. I'm like, so what? We got to do something about it, right? we gotta do something about it. So I would have never have, you know, taken the time to learn how to like juke your camera up to like, you know, freak people out so that maybe they'll Dead Hard early, or just follow them a little closer so they'll Dead Hard later, or swing a half second late when you get close. That way it'll catch the end of their Dead Hard. Just like little stuff like that. I would never have like put in the time to learn or tried to do if I had just kept listening to those killer main streamers or content creators that just like, oh well, everything's just the game, everything's just this, it's all hopeless, it's futile, and the game sucks, you know. Like, I would never have learned those things, and I learned it so late in the game because it stunted my growth, because I just thought, oh well, there's nothing I can do about that because these streamers were so hopeless about the whole thing, you know. So I guess if I have a takeaway, be careful. If you're new into this game, be careful when you're going out there and you're watching streamers or YouTube content for this game, because I think that I am in a better place now because I try to see things as clearly as I can from the both sides of the perspective, but I can guarantee you that I would say 90% of the DBD community has a side they're biased towards, and they will follow that side and will make excuses for whatever side is their favorite. And just be careful out there, because it's not just, oh hey, it's annoying, but you will literally adopt mentalities and bad habits from these people because of their extremely one-sided and very nonsensical and non-factual viewpoints that they have on the game. So just kind of like try to intake more than one source. Don't take everything that everybody says at like the like, not everything they say is absolutely true without any sort of exception. Because man, that was something that I wish I had not, you know, done early in my DBD career, is, you know, gotten too into those big killer mainstreamers and filled my head with all these like kind of like, oh, you like helplessness ideas and entitlement ideas. And I feel like I would have been a much better player now if I had not had to basically learn how to be a better player midway, instead of just blaming it on the game or blaming it on survivors or whatever it happened to be at the time. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I appreciate you. Hopefully I'll see you in tomorrow's video, but if I don't, I'll see you when I see you, friends. Goodbye.